Hello, my name is James Underhill and I'm here with Anna Wierzbicka, who's kicked off the natural semantics meta-language with Cliff Goddard several decades ago now. In Semantic Primes and Universals, published in 1996, this is now over 20 years ago, you accept the concept of polysemy. But you often criticize the way English dictionaries distinguish between different meanings. For example, you give the 4 different meanings of spring as being an example of polysemy, but you reject the idea of love as being polysemous. You seem to accept that romantic love and brotherly love, erotic love, to be part of the same single concept. How would you explain that in NSM terms?
Yeah, well, polysemy is the fact of life, and most words in most languages are polysemous. So the question is how to identify different meanings and how many meanings a word has and what these meanings are. And in my view, you can't really do it unless you have a common measure. And since we have the system of primes, we can identify meanings in a coherent way, it seems to me, in terms of the primes, whereas dictionaries don't have any theory or any methodology to do it. They just do it, I don't know, based on the lexicographer's impression and experience, and often they are very good lexicographers, but they don't have methodology for doing it. So with love, it's an empirical question, how many different meanings the word love has, and I'm actually more interested in the verb to love than in the noun, because it's a much bigger topic, the noun. But if you say she loves her, how many meanings does this sentence have in English? She loves her. And as far as I can see, it has only one meaning. You don't have to say, look, I don't understand the sentence unless I know who is she and who is the other she. No, you don't need to know this. She loves her, I think, has one meaning, which I've tried to identify in terms of primes, which essentially involves that she feels something very good towards her and she wants to do good things for her, roughly speaking.
Okay.
So you identify meanings within certain frames, in simple sentences. And if you think that there are more than the meanings to this sentence, well, you would have to tell me what would force us to accept that the sentence is ambiguous, has 2 different meanings. Because the basic assumption is that there's only one meaning, unless something forces us to distinguish.
Okay, so it's a question of elimination to see how, if there seems to be no ambiguity between different language systems, then you accept
No, in a given language. I'm talking about English here, the English word to love.
Okay, so
she loves her, that's an English sentence with the English verb to love, and as far as I can see, it has only one meaning.
Would you accept it then as love as a universal?
No, not at all. Yeah, languages, well, the question is, would all languages have a word which would match the English verb to love in meaning, so that you could translate she loves her into any language with the same meaning? And the answer is no. We know very well that there are lots of languages where you cannot do this because they don't have a word meaning love in that sense.
Okay, to come to a more basic level then, in terms of the semantic primes, you're uncertain that the polysemy of to feel is accurately represented in Anglo dictionaries. Why is that? What's the problem there?
Well, look, if you look at different dictionaries, they don't agree with one another. It's not the case that all English dictionaries agree. Everyone posits a different set of meanings because they have no methodology to work with.
Okay. Does polysemy not contradict the idea of NSM's reduction of linguistic elements to neutral intercultural concepts? Is there not a contradiction there then?
I don't see why it should be a contradiction. It's an empirical fact that a word can have many meanings, and that's what usually happens. And the patterns of polysemy are different in different languages. That's one of the sort of difficulties, because when we say posit universal concepts, for example, feel or do, people may say, well, no, in my language, in English you can feel something, whether something is soft or hard, but in another language you cannot. And we would say yes, but that's an English-specific pattern of polysemy, that in English the basic verb to feel has also this added meaning which involves touching, whereas another language may not have. But there is also one meaning which we claim is universal, and you can identify it within a particular frame, such as, well, I don't feel anything now, okay? I think this is a sentence which is cross-translatable with exactly the same meaning, no matter what other meanings the verb can have in a particular language.
Thank you very much, Anna.